Laporta went live once again to respond to Real Madrid's attacks regarding the Negreira case. But what really shocked the football world were the leaked reports about a new document Florentino Perez is allegedly preparing, a dossier intended to pressure FIFA and bring Barcelona down. Now subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because the next revelations promise to be even more explosive. They say Lamine Yamal has been a constant target for rival fans in practically every stadium he plays in. However, this hostility isn't because he reacts with insults, gestures, or provocations that could damage his image. He's targeted simply because he's Barcelona's most dangerous player, and opposing fans know that his dribbles and assists can decide matches. On top of that, some of his Instagram posts before games have also irritated rival supporters. Even so, Lamine responds in the best way possible, by playing high-level football and leaving his mark on the pitch, something very different from the behavior of Vinicius Jr. at Real Madrid. Real Madrid regained their best form against Athletic Bilbao, but the one who never changes, never improves, never corrects himself, never gets back on track is Vinicius, who once again delivered one of those typical moments that clearly reflect his sporting attitude at San Mamés. After climbing out of rock bottom, Mbappé once again became the big star, overshadowing Vinicius in the match against Athletic Bilbao and Nico Williams, who's been in a downward spiral ever since he turned down Barcelona. Karma has arrived for Nico Williams after he and his agent gave Barcelona false hope when everything was supposedly set for his transfer. Now, Mbappé has his sights on none other than Cristiano Ronaldo's historic goal records in a single year for the club. Mbappé scored twice, reaching 55 goals in 2025, equaling Cristiano Ronaldo's 2015 mark, the Portuguese star's fourth best scoring year at Real. From here, Mbappé has other legendary numbers from his idol in his sights: 56 goals in 2014, 58 in 2012, and 59 in 2013. Surpassing Messi's absolute record of 91 goals in 2012 is completely impossible for any modern player. The only realistic record within reach for the Frenchman is Cristiano Ronaldo's. And knowing how much Ronaldo values his statistics, you can almost feel the tension. Mbappé still has 4 more games to surpass the 59-goal mark in a single year with Real Madrid. Cristiano Ronaldo, you have Mbappé's number. I know you haven't been sleeping well these days because there are only 4 games left for Mbappé to break your record. You still have time to call him and beg him not to score 5 goals in these next 4 matches. If you don't, he'll soften your ego by surpassing you. And when that happens, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ronaldo desperately scheduling another interview with Piers Morgan to announce that being the top scorer in a single year for a club doesn't matter that much, and that what really matters is reaching 1,000 career goals. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. He would say the record has lost its credibility. With the game already decided, Vinicius, during one of his runs toward the sideline, was once again targeted with insults from the stands, behavior that, as always, must be condemned. Instead of ignoring the provocations, he walked toward the fans and held up 3 fingers, signaling the goals Real Madrid had scored at that moment. Moments later, Xabi Alonso decided to replace him with Rodrigo, and Vinicius was met with loud boos at San Mamés, a stadium where, just like in nearly every other in the country except the Santiago Bernabeu, he is rarely well received. And if you're wondering whether he had another meltdown or emotional outburst after being subbed off, like he did in the Clásico against Barcelona, the answer is no. This time he walked off calmly, even though the Athletic Bilbao fans booed him intensely. I can do much more. I still have a lot of energy, but I've played better in recent games. The match against Bilbao did me good because I had hit rock bottom. I missed a penalty, and that was the moment I realized I need to give everything for this shirt and play with personality, said Mbappé. He needs 4 goals to tie Ronaldo's mark and 5 to surpass it, and if he maintains his scoring average this season, he's on the right path. He's averaging 1.66 goals per game, 25 in 20 matches for the French star. Mbappé's final challenge of 2025 is to surpass his idol, with whom he once posed for a photo during his first visit to Valdebebas as a child, closing out a record-breaking year and the first half of a season in which he leads the Golden Boot race, which he already won in 2024-2025. And in which he has totaled 30 goals and 7 assists in his 24 games for Real Madrid and the national team. I like the players we have at Barça. Mbappé is a fantastic player, but I like our guys, this new generation from La Masia. I like these players. I like the mix of academy players with guys like Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Varane. They have team spirit. I don't particularly admire the others, Laporta said when asked about Mbappé. During his speech at the Foros de Vanguardia event on Thursday night, Barcelona president Joan Laporta once again responded to Florentino Perez's attacks regarding the Negreira case, referring to that whole circus of refereeing controversy in which they claim Barcelona bought referees in the past and that Negreira's sons still favor Barcelona today. Florentino Perez didn't hesitate to publicly express Real Madrid's outrage over refereeing during the last General Assembly, citing the Negreira case as the main example and pointing directly at Barcelona. Now, Josep Pedrerol revealed on El Chiringuito that Real Madrid is about to finalize a refereeing report to send to FIFA. Real Madrid has been preparing a report for some time summarizing how refereeing allegedly worked in Spain during the more than 17 years in which Negreira was vice president of the referees committee. In addition, Real Madrid has included the subsequent years, arguing that even without Negreira, many of the same people remained in place, and therefore the system did not change, improve, or evolve. The report is almost finished. Infantino, the FIFA president, knows it will be delivered very soon. It is said to include videos and all kinds of documentation aimed at showing that Real Madrid believes it has been unfairly treated for more than 20 years in La Liga. According to Pedrerol, the report is nearly complete and will be submitted to FIFA in the coming days. For many, this reflects Real Madrid's inability to deal with Barcelona's recent advantages in La Liga. Joan Laporta stated, "Real Madrid represents power and Barça represents freedom. I don't know whether business deals are made in the Bernabeu VIP box. There is power involved. Here it's different. We focus more on democracy and freedom. We have a good and cordial relationship with Florentino Perez." Laporta firmly defended Barcelona regarding the accusations in the Negreira case. "This will go on until the judge says the injustice must end. We're in a legal process, and every decision so far shows that Barça did not bribe referees and did nothing wrong. Other private proceedings are not providing any conclusive evidence. If new evidence emerges, then the process will have to continue. All of this has delayed the judge's decision. We were condemned before even being judged. I am convinced Barça will be acquitted in the end. There are people who have an interest in keeping this alive. They continue insisting that Barça benefited from referees, which is false. In the 72 years of the referees committee, there has always been a Real Madrid member. Real Madrid has significant power and doesn't like it when we win. Our victories carry extra value." He continued, "Javier Tebas said Real Madrid is trying to exert influence through RMTV. Maybe they should take a look at what Real Madrid's TV channel does to referees, something done with excessive intensity. The right path was to return to the ECA and UEFA to restore peace in football. Real Madrid panicked when they saw Barça rising again. If we repeat what we accomplished during my first term, they tried to tarnish the greatest era in Barça's history. Barça dominated Europe and captivated everyone. Everyone wanted to play like us. There was a campaign to discredit Barça. I don't have to apologize. The Negreira incident was based on referee reports. You only apologize when you knowingly do something wrong. I don't want to be stuck in an endless cycle of apologies. It's obvious there was a defamatory campaign against Barça. It's undeniable. We had the best team in the world, and it was a golden era for Barça." Laporta also commented on Tebas. "We've had disagreements, but overall the relationship is good. He is a man of his word, honorable and experienced. I don't trust those who want to remove him. That wouldn't be good for us. We've built a relationship in which we both understand the rules. Now there are strategies coming from Real Madrid to try to push him out. Yes, there is a conflict between Tebas and Florentino, and I'm not worried. I see certain obsessions from the Casablanca in this conflict. Our relations with Tebas are good. He is the president of La Liga, and I am the president of Barça. He considers Barça an important club, and that's why we accepted the game in Miami. We accepted it for the good of La Liga. The CSD didn't allow the match. We respect authority. I would prefer if Tebas were honest and told me he supports Real Madrid." Laporta responded brilliantly. "We're with you, Joan Laporta. Real Madrid cannot act as if it holds absolute power to influence the system or diminish Barcelona's historic greatness in Europe. That's not up for debate. Barça lived through legendary eras with players like Ronaldo Nazario, Ronaldinho, Eto'o, Xavi, Iniesta, Pep Guardiola, and Lionel Messi, talents who dominated world football. So when Florentino Perez tries to justify new refereeing controversies, it naturally raises questions. It might even be interesting for Barcelona to produce its own report with independent experts to analyze Real Madrid's past glory years. In my opinion, such a review might conclude that only a couple of Real Madrid's Champions League titles and only some domestic titles were fully legitimate, while the rest were influenced by refereeing decisions, power structures, and institutional weight. Ultimately, Laporta's words reinforce a long-standing perception. For many, Real Madrid represents power and influence, while Barcelona represents footballing philosophy and freedom. Now I want to hear your opinion on this entire refereeing controversy. Enjoy the video on screen and have a great Friday while you wait for Messi's historic Inter Miami match in the MLS final.